All right, this is Ubaid on behalf of Electronics, and in this video, we'll be looking at supply of labor. All right, so in the last video, we talked about demand when it came to labor, as well as workforce. Okay, this has to do with supply of labor. Okay, and we did mention that labor is from households, so households supply labor. Okay, and when it comes to labor, certain factors impact labor. Okay, and we're talking about the supply curve. So if you were to draw the supply curve, okay, let's say this is your supply curve for labor, where this is your wages. Okay, and then you have your quantity over here. All right, and we know that as the wages go up, okay, the supply of labor goes up because workers are willing to work at a higher wage. All right, so for that reason, when it comes to labor, okay, there are certain factors that impact the curve itself. Okay, we're not talking about moving along the curve, which has to do with wages. Okay, however, we're talking about the shift of the curve, either to the right or to the left. Okay, so you have a shift of the curve either to the right or to the left. And some of the factors that impact this shift, okay, some of the factors that decide whether the curve will shift to the right or to the left and to what extent, okay, are as follows. Okay, number one has to do with, okay, government restrictions. So government. Okay, government intervention. Okay, and this government intervention, just like your monetary policies and fiscal policies, mostly fiscal policies, a government can intervene when it comes to things like education, for example. Okay, so the governments can provide subsidies, they can provide grants, okay, they can provide um, loans via educational institutions, via training institutions. Okay, and they can basically bump up human capital. Okay, because as the government provides a grant or a subsidy, the number of workers who get educated or trained goes up. Okay, so in terms of education and training, government provides funding. And this could be from the taxpayers' money altogether, because government does spend tax revenues on things such as education and healthcare. Okay, so education and training. So in this case, education and training, okay, goes up because of government subsidies and grants, as a result of which, okay, the supply curve shifts to the right. Okay, because more workers are willing to get educated and trained, as a result of which their um, resume meets the standards of the employer. Okay, and the resume is successful in getting them a job. All right, so for that reason, education and training goes up, the supply curve shifts to the right. Okay, and then if the government does impose some kind of restriction, so let's say the government imposes a restriction where certain types of workers, let's say foreign skilled workers, need to get a certain type of education and training, as a result of which it might take them a little longer to get into the workforce. Okay, for that reason, if okay, the government has restrictions when it comes to things such as education and experience. So you have education and experience over here. So you have education and experience. So as education and experience goes up, okay, what's going to end up happening is, okay, the supply curve, your supply curve will shift to the right, will shift to the right. Okay, will shift to the right. All right, now apart from that, okay, you also have a total number of workers. Okay, so you have number of workers, number of workers. Okay, and this could be workers in low skill occupations or high skill occupations. So this is number of workers. All right, and if the number of workers goes up, okay, obviously the supply of labor goes up. Okay, so let's say this is because of immigration. Okay, maybe because of birth rate. It could be because of the graduation rate, for example. It's possible that in a certain year, more people might be graduating out of colleges and universities, so graduation rate. Okay, so on and so forth. So whenever any one of these go up, okay, will supply labor, as a result of which the supply curve will shift to the right. If it goes down, it will reduce labor, as a result of which your supply curve will shift to the left. All right, and apart from that, obviously you have education and training, which is a continuation of the first factor over here. So let's say you have education and training. Your education and training. Now, when it comes to education and training, all right, what's going to end up happening is as workers become more educated, as workers, okay, become educated, or receive education and training. Okay, what's going to happen is supply curve will shift to the right. Supply curve shifts to the right. Shifts right. Okay, so these are some of the factors that impact the supply curve when it comes to labor, when it comes to workforce. Okay, apart from that, this is Obey on behalf of Electronics. Have yourself a great day.